Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Motorsport Manager. I'm into week 39 of competition, and we're on to the third race of the season. We're heading to Cape Town. Last season was the first time that I had a chance to race at Cape Town. But that was done off camera. I promised that I would make it on camera this year, so that's just what I'm going to do. And it looks like we're going to have rain on race day. Maybe not on practice or qualifying. In terms of the standings, Verline, way down at the bottom in the second race. But that was not because of much of anything of his control. He was actually racing pretty well and was somewhere right around 7th, 8th place. And then had a part going bad, was going to have to pit anyway, and there was only about 4 laps left in the race. And so what I ended up doing was I repaired all the parts on the car. So I had him in for well over a minute for his pit stop, to repair all of those parts. And what it ended up doing was that when the race was over and the team had to go back and fix the car, there wasn't much to fix. So it took a lot less time to get the car back up to race condition, and it made it that much easier to get to work on the car to make improvements heading into this race now. Meanwhile, DeVries, he managed a 5th place. Thought he should have had 4th. He got beat to the line right at the end by Pagano, I think, who also qualified first for that race. But he came at us with a head of steam right at the end, and DeVries couldn't hold him off even with the last of his ERS. But it was still a good race because he was only running around 9th, 10th, 11th through most of the race, and he was out on softs while everybody else was on mediums at the end, and he just one by one started picking cars off during that last stint. So that was a good finish just to get in the points. Cars starting to look up, but it's not quite there yet. Let's take a look at that as we head into the race. And meanwhile, Verline has a bit of a dodgy neck. He had it last week and has it again this week. Funny thing is I'm sitting here on a bit of a dodgy neck. Got slammed into the wall a little bit in a indoor soccer game over the weekend, and little whiplash action. So for once, both drivers are a little bit content. We're estimated race position is 11th and 16th. So the fact that I'm finishing higher than that is a testament to the strategy, to the weight stripping, to all those things that we need to do. So we have our first car part, our first new part fit to the car for DeVries. It's not quite done on the reliability part, but it's supposed to be done somewhere around qualifying time. But at 87%, that's pretty good, and it's more or almost 100 better than the last one. Plus, it has tire wear efficiency improved and a weight stripping ×2 bonus, and a plus 25 deceleration bonus. So, pretty good set of brakes. That's the top one. I did not make 2 at this point. I made just the 1. The secondary part itself really isn't good enough to put on the car either. And so Verline's got the part that DeVries did have on. He's going to have it on his car for a while until I can get DeVries' car maxed out, and then we'll go back and try to make additional parts for Verline on the back half of the season. So I don't expect much from Verline this year, really. I'm really focused on DeVries performing well and scoring some points for us. Meanwhile, we've been working on the rear wing now, And DeVries still has on his original part that we started the season off with that's at 100% reliability. We've managed to quickly produce 3 rear wings, and we're working on a 4th one now, which I think is, yes, will be the final part that will eventually go on the car. But in the meantime, Verline, his original part that he started with is a 606 on performance and just 55% reliability. I haven't touched it. But one of the new parts has 55% reliability, but is 138 points better, plus has a 25% bonus and a weight stripping bonus. The weight stripping bonus does me nothing. It does come with low risk, so I'm taking a little bit of a risk to put this part on Verline's car, but because of the reliability not being any worse, I figured, why not? It's worth it. So we'll try it. That's not going to be on there permanently, but in the short term, at least for this race, there it is. Alright, so round 3 of the championship. We're going to head to Cape Town, South Africa. So, for those who are fans of this series and are not in the US, you've probably grown up with Formula One. Chances are, anyway. Maybe not, but more likely yes. In the US, we haven't had Formula One available to us to the same extent that you might have. So what I mean by that is, don't want to take that a little bit more. Yeah, that's a lot more bonus. We'll take that bonus. We had limited coverage of Formula One. You might get a few races, like Monaco. But for the most part, we didn't have access to a lot of Formula One coverage in the US until pretty recently. So most of us that are fans of Formula One in the US are late bloomers, not because we didn't like it when we were a kid, but because we had IndyCar and NASCAR, and that was close to it. And anyway, I wasn't aware until I was watching somebody else's YouTube video just the other day on former Formula One tracks that there actually ever was a race here in Cape Town, and that a lot of people really enjoyed this street course. And I personally, from the look of it, this is a very neat track, fun track, and I would love to see a race take place in there. And I know that Liberty Media Group, they are really looking to, evolve Formula One a little bit. There's a few races out there that are just really boring, and I do not consider Monaco one of those. I know there's not a lot of passing there, but come on, are you kidding me? It's the most gorgeous track, most challenging track in the world. You can't take that race off the calendar. I don't care if there's not a lot of passing. It is so technical. It's so exciting. It's fun for me to watch that one. I'd like to see a race here. 13, 15, 9, 11. That's a bit of a difference. About 4 laps But we'll start with the Ultra Softs. We'll take that bonus. Helps in the qualifying. So I am starting to actually focus on qualifying a little bit these days. A little. I still want that race trim 3 before I go after the qualifying trim. And I suppose, well, you need handling. If you need it, you probably need it. So we'll add a little bit of oversteer. Alright, looks like we are ready to go. In terms of bonuses, Verline is getting his first bonus of the year, 40 gained. But we're starting to get into some pretty healthy bonuses for De Vries, and these weren't there in the previous races. And also De Vries has a near, well, minus the weight stripping. He's where I want him, to where De Vries should be reliable, should not have any issues, should not be out of any races. Verline's still in the danger zone of getting through a race without having some sort of reliability issue. Okay, he's already set to race trim. And Vries is going to lose 10 seconds to get switched over to the race trim instead of the quali trim. Oh, 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 bring in. I forgot to bring them in. It's a short track though, so I should still be able to get plenty of laps in. If we can get the setup right. Not a very good start on setup here. We need major change in downforce. Handling was pretty good. And speed balance. Boy, those tires fall away quick. They're already down in the mid-80s in just 2 laps. Ooh, nice. Handling is excellent. Okay, we'll get them both back in this time. Okay, getting closer to 91% now. And the handling, we got that locked down, and we are up to great on the speed balance. But I really don't know which direction it's going to need to go to make it great, so we'll try this direction. Downforce. I still might need some more there. There we go. Three laps, and those tires are that far gone. I don't know that we're going to be able to run Ultra Softs in the race. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Still only 91%, but he's down to just downforce. The handling, speed balance are excellent. Okay, so poor, okay, so we did go the right direction. Now the trick is, if it's going to be okay, it's going to be probably all the way to the edge. And lock these down. Can't, oh, not quite the same. One of these things is not like the other. Alright, I would imagine he's going to be close. Verline, I'm not so sure about, so maybe Verline I'm going to bring in, but I'm going to leave De Vries out now. Alright, so here is that track. So you got a park here. Some traffic circles that they're going around here. They cut through a parking lot on that part, which is interesting. Straight into downtown, a bunch of soccer fields back there. I would imagine they probably do rugby there too. There's more fields in there. So interesting facilities. All right. Close, 97%. Ooh, he was excellent, but now we're just great. And we were great there as well. We flip to the other side, so we need to bring that back. Yes. Okay. 5 seconds. Okay, both cars need to go out on the race trim because we got a ways to go on that. However, there is only 9 minutes. There is 9 minutes. Alright, there's race trim number 2. We're going to keep an eye on that one. Ooh, I should have brought him in. I should have brought him in. They're both going to be coming in this time. Luckily, it's a short lap. We're going to have close to 6 minutes. There we go. Both cars coming in this time. So DeVries put in a pretty solid time there on quite used tires on a race trim with some extra fuel. 98% speed balance. Oh, I lost the speed balance. Alright, I'm going to go back to where those are both excellent and then see if I can't get this. There you go. That should give us a near perfect. No, it won't. That's the setup I literally just had. Okay. That, I think, will do it. Okay, qualifying trim. Can I put in more than... Oh, I can. Qualifying trim, 3 laps. There we go. Don't keep him out and not having to come back in. All excellence here. 99%. It's good to go. Qualifying trim. 3 laps. Worn tires. It's still 3.5 minutes left. So that was just 6.5 minutes to burn through those tires. It's a little scary. 2 minutes left in the session. We've got the first bonus. Flying through towards the second bonus. Both cars got on it. Good. Okay, we got 2 bonuses on the qualifying trim. That's going to set us up nicely for qualifying. Those tires literally just made it to that 10-minute mark. So they're not going to last terribly long in the race. Yes, we're down near the bottom, but I'm not worried about that. That was one set of tires that entire time. And a heavy load of fuel. Now, here's my trick. I want to save these tires for race day. I want to only tap into one set. So we're going to start on Super Softs. Which I have plenty of. And I wonder if the weight stripping's changed at all. No, it didn't. It locked into that one. Figured it might. Alright, so I know everybody's out on the ultras. This is just to get a time in. We're definitely going to have a faster time when we run later. Now, it's a short lap. We're probably going to have to run pretty hot to get this up. Okay, tire temp perfect, brakes a little hot, but not too bad. And DeVries, we're ready to roll. There goes Verline starting his hot lap. Looks like he just got brake checked by somebody coming out of the pits there. Brakes are looking pretty good for DeVries right now. This tire temp's not coming up very fast though, so come on, get up there, get up there. Brake temps overheated by the slightest amount. Tire temps are close to warm enough. Meanwhile, Verline is a second off of Bottas's pace, but remember we are on Super Softs, not on the Ultras. Okay, we got 6.5 minutes. Plenty of time for a track that is only a minute. Okay, now Verline's gonna get started. It's the grip's starting to come up. The good news is we're not even last. 17th and 19th. Verline had a better time. So to me that says the tire temp matters more than the brake temperature, at least on this track. As Verline had his tire temps locked down, but was a bit hot on the brakes. Okay, there's perfect. DeVries, still plenty of time. No. I'm gonna wait. Verline, good first sector. Okay, 2 minutes. It's more than enough time to get out there. Still not a ton of grip out there, surprisingly. Alright, I got the tire temps already up high enough this time. Now it's more of cooling off those brakes a little bit here towards the end. Brakes are pretty hot, but the tire temp's perfect this time. Verline goes 4th. What a difference. What a difference. There's a solid second or more from where he was to where he is now. Well, about 0.8 of a second it looks like difference between the two tires. DeVries making good time, but it looks like he is quite a bit off. Yeah. DeVries. Terrible qualifying job by him. He only moves up 1 spot to 18th. So for him, the hot brakes apparently affected him differently than Verline. Great job by Verline, though, to go 4th in qualifying. Okay, we head to race day, and we are expecting some rain today. It looks like we have some light rain to start the race. And it looks like it's not going to stick around. So it looks like just a few laps in, it's going to go away. And there's not going to be much water on the track. I'm going to stick with the Ultras. Ooh, wow, this is a long race, 37 laps. This is definitely not going to be a one-stopper. 9 to 11, 13 to 15, that's a big gap between them. We are going to want to go to Super Softs after the first stint. So I don't want to go more than neutral, especially with a wet track. We'll put DeVries on high mode, but otherwise I'll let these guys go. So Kenyon also with a dodgy neck. Verline has the dodgy neck as well. Bottas is starting 3rd. Let's get this race underway. Only one car in the intermediates, it's Albon. So Albon is the only car out on intermediates right now. We'll see how that affects everyone. And we have a mixture of ultras and soft tires out there. Okay, it's going to be harder to keep heat in the tires with the wet surface, so I'm actually going to have to push just to try to keep up tire temps where we need them. Verline sliding backwards, he's down to 9th already, 10th now. Meanwhile, DeVries is in last place. So poor start to the race here as Verline just one after another, every couple corners getting passed. Nice move to get to the inside there. His first decent driving move he's made. As he goes 3 wide, passed by 3 cars in 2 corners. Verline throwing up a stinker to start off this race. Now, meanwhile, Albon seems to be burning through his tires pretty fast there and not really gaining much of anything. So he's still near the back. And after a great qualifying job by Verline, he's just marched right to the back of the field. That's pretty sad. Our ERS is accumulating quite slowly from what I would expect, as we're already on lap 4. He's got the inside here. He should be able to hold that position, but he's not. He's still fighting for it, though. But now that he's going to be on the outside, he's not going to be able to take it here. In fact, he's going to lose a place instead. Or will he? He's fighting to try to keep that one, and he does, in the end, concede another position. And meanwhile, De Vries, last place. Terrible start to my race here. And it looks like I'm going to have to play more of a longer strategy here. Maybe go for fewer stops than everyone else. De Vries finally makes a move. Albon, meanwhile, as the track has gotten a little bit more wet, is finally marching his way through the field and is up to 8th place. De Vries trying to complete the double pass, and does, and actually has a chance at a move here on King as well, but King just uses a ton of ERS there to shoot past Verline and keeps that momentum going through too. He actually turned that into a pretty nice move. First car is already in, Galale, and he puts on a used set of Ultras, so Galale just cost himself a ton of time. But De Vries has already caught Verline, so after his terrible quali, he's already right up on him. It looks like it's going to be dry at least till mid-race. And the rain has stopped. Vries drops back down to 18th as Falchero moves past. This is a poor start to the race. And now that the track's drying out, getting too much heat into those tires. And the moment I go to back off, De Vries just slots instantly backwards, losing 2 positions in 1 corner. Verline loses 1 the next corner. Ooh, nice job to get it back, though, at least. Speed things up a little bit. Verline's going to have to come in fairly soon here, as he's already down to 25% on those tires. But with a short way around here, you can get a lap or 2 out of those situations. Look how far behind Galale is, and his tires are already nearly gone. Checking in yet again. It looks like the sun's going to come out and clear up, so that might have been all the rain we're going to get today. Here comes the first round of pits as a bunch of cars are in. I'm trying to extend my stint just a little bit here. And Verline, meanwhile, is going to have to come in this lap. But I don't know if those tires are paying off. We're going to switch to the softs. We'll save that last set of ultras for later. We do still have our slightly used pair from qualifying. And 20 laps is plenty. Car condition's good. Let's quick stop in and out. Give it whatever you've got here. He's losing a bunch of time here. Running this a little bit longer. Well, De Vries is still making good pace, but once you drop below that 25% mark, it does start to come down. He's going to have to go one more lap here. So he moves up to 10th place. And again, we're going to switch to the super softs. Now I'm wondering, we got, what, 26 laps to go? That'll get him to the end. And now he's starting to lose that time. So De Vries is slowing down here. Verline gets in and out pretty quick. But it's down to 19th. Galale already pitting for a second time right now. And he puts on another huge set of Ultra Softs. So Galale is going to finish in dead last in this race, unless somebody has a DNF. De Vries is in for his stop. We are going to do our refueling on this stop. So any stops after this will go a bit faster, though this is going to slow him down on track a little bit, but I am trying to play a long game with him. And he should be able to get by with just one more stop. 25 laps to go in this one. So we're about a third of the way there. Okay, now I do finally have some ERS ready to go. And let's see, our spot for that is going to be right here. And that didn't use up very much ERS at all, actually. That's another stretch. Front stretch or after turn 2 are the best spots to use that ERS effectively. Terrible performance in this race right now, though, as we are very much in the pack. Galale in for his third stop. He's never going to catch anybody like that, and he's got to be out of ultras, so he's going to have to run softs the rest of the way. So this race is turning into a little bit of a head scratcher at this point, as I'm really struggling for pace, even though we got our setup down quite nicely. 20 laps to go. Yes, we're so slow that Margasov just picked and still came out ahead of both of my cars. Wonder if I lost too much time having them both go an extra lap. Did it really cost me that much time? I thought it was only about 3 seconds, and if I'm normally a second off the pace, it means it cost me maybe 2 seconds on the track to extend by a lap. Laps to go. Some of the cars that have pit will have to pit a third time. So there's one thing going for me. Verline needs to come in. I wanted to get him one more. Oh, and he's got parts that aren't going to make it, huh? That was only 12 laps? With 13 to go. Okay. Try to make it a one-stopper. Oh, that gearbox is going to take a long time to fix. 22 seconds. Verline's going to lose a bunch of time here. Alright. Now, if he doesn't have any problems with parts, he'll be good to go till the end. Freeze. He made it 12 laps on Ultras. So we're going to get it back on Ultras till the end of the race. So already got the fuel to go to the end, and the parts are good to go to the end. So this is going to be a quick stop. This is where DeVries is going to gain some time, gain some positions. As most everybody else still going to have to stop one more time. He is going to lose just a little time here. But a very quick stop. It's only 15th though. Ooh, wrong one. Verline's the one that's back. So DeVries is well ahead of Verline now. Okay, King's going to have to pit here soon, so he'll be out. There goes Galeo with yet another pit stop. Freeze has a bunch of traffic just ahead. How many of them are good to go to the end? Probably most. Last 7 laps here. huge gap up to 15th. Actually, he's catching up to Johnson fast, but that's because he's retired. Alright, DeVries inherits 11th place as Albin Pitts. He's out on ultras till the end of the race. Pagano is going to need to pit. A few guys, I don't think they're going to make it to the end, so he could gain a few positions yet. He's up to 9th. Meanwhile, Verline, I think, is out of contention for points for this race. Meanwhile, DeVries is looking okay in 9th, but with 3 laps left, how many cars are going to actually pit? Nobody this time. 2 laps to go, you got to figure that they're going to try to go to the end. Yeah, can't turn it up. Cannot turn that up. Slow down for these last couple laps. DeVries in with a chance, but with the tire wear, final lap, push it with everything you got. Push it with everything you got. Give it your all, boys. They're losing some time here at the end, though. DeVries losing time, drops to 10th. Markasov got past him, even with 3 stops. And we are absolutely the back end of those who made 2 stops. Look at this. All these guys are 3 stoppers that are moving past us now. Oh, DeVries got past NATO, who was also toast. Oh, can he hang on to the finish? Yes. Okay, just barely. Just barely. Oh, Verline at the very end gets passed by Pagano. Terrible race. 9th and 14th. No points earned today. We were just slow. NATO, the only car that was on a 2-stopper that I beat at all. Meanwhile, Valtteri Bottas racing down in the 2nd tier, stuck with Sauber after their relegation, comes in, wins the race. Sauber's going to be tough to beat. They're very, very likely to bounce back this year. My goal is to try to get up with the top 3 teams. It's going to be later in the season before I'm really to that point. But my goal right now really is to have respectable finishes, meaning top 6. Race by race. I've got to be earning points. We at least met the sponsor objective, but only just. I don't expect much from Verline right now, but DeVries, I expect better than that. So we remain on 8 points for the season. We drop a spot to 4th. So Trident just 1 point ahead of us. But I'm still in the middle of the pack here. However, that top 3, I guess, isn't that far out. Equip should be doing better. They've got the best car or 2nd best car on the grid. They just don't have anything else. If I can improve my car, we can firmly be in 3rd place. Maybe. Hopefully. Alright, well, I'm out of time for this one, so that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.